Today is December 14th. It's the final day of Ho-Oh raid here on the East Coast. Ho-Oh is going to disappear at 4 p.m., so it's gone. Ho-Oh is a flying fire legendary Pokemon. It is double weak to rock. It has a single weakness to water, and it has a single weakness to electricity. So typically what you're going to want to use are rock Pokemon such as Golem, or maybe T-Tar with Stone Edge, maybe Rhydon with rock moves. However, as you see here, no Golems were selected, no rock types, because it's Solar Beam Ho-Oh. It did bring up my Stone Edge T-Tars, even though that's really not good. But this is the last one. We had a full lobby. I was playing on 3 different phones, so I'm just like, whatever, I'll use whatever we got. You also see it brought up a Ho-Oh as a counter, and the reason for that is because Ho-Oh has a double resistance to grass, and Solar Beam is a grass type move, so it makes sense somewhat to bring in a Ho-Oh because it's going to be tankier than a lot of other options, especially since Ho-Oh has such a high defense and stamina. So you got the T-Tars because they know Stone Edge, you brought those in auto, and then you also have 3 Dragon Tail, Outrage, Dragonites, who are just fabulous counters all around. It's going to do neutral damage on those Dragon type attacks. So in this raid we have about 10 or 11 people. Everybody is bringing out the dragons. You see some people are bringing out the golems. Again, it's a large raid, so it really isn't going to depend on your stamina too much. As long as we get that damage in, it's not going to be a problem. We've got plenty of time left, barely even touching the 300 seconds there, and it's already a quarter of the way down. So very nice. You see a Raikou over there, that's a great counter. I see a Zapdos over there, on par with Raikou very much. I would have put in Raikou as my #1 attacker if I was selecting my party, but I didn't because I just went with what it gave me, because like I said, I was doing the 3 phones, so I was just trying to make sure that everything was in there. But Raikou is definitely my suggested counter for Ho-Oh in a raid scenario. Now, the thing about Ho-Oh is that I don't really see any use for it right now. It knows Brave Bird, which is a flying type move, and it knows Extrasensory, which is a psychic type move. So if you're going up against a Machamp, like a Machamp raid, Ho-Oh is going to be great. Thing is, I'm not really worried about Machamp raids. I kind of got them under my belt, and I'm not really having a hard time beating those. On the flip side, you got Fire Blast as a charge move for Ho-Oh, and Steel Wing. This isn't a good fire type attacker because it doesn't have a fast move, so you're not going to get that fire fast move. He also has the Solar Beam, which is, as a raid boss, it's really powerful, but just as a normal level 30, 35 Pokemon, it's not the most amazing move, especially since the lack of stab does not make up for the high attack stats. So I didn't catch it, which is a trend for the legendary birds and beasts with May. So that's kind of a nice end to it, honestly. The one thing that I think Ho-Oh is really good for is potentially in a PvP sort of environment, because if somebody brings out a Ho-Oh, you're not gonna know what to do with it, because if you're trying to counter it and you use a water type or a rock type, if it has solar beam, it's gonna blow both of those types away. So if you were to see a Ho-Oh in a PvP environment, I guess you would have to use electric types just to be safe. So I'm using the map here. I'm sorry if you have a problem with that. Ralts is spawning like crazy today due to the weather conditions in the new Gen 3 update. So I'm trying to get my Kirlia up to a Gardevoir today. That's my goal. I already put in some work on it earlier this week. As you can see, Cloudy, the fairy type is boosted, so you're gonna see more spawns and better IVs on them. Now I got 46 Ralts candies, plus I already have the Kirlia evolved. I need 100 total. Subtract 46 from that, you get 54. Divide by 7, because I'm gonna pin-app the Ralts and then transfer it, so I'll get 7 candies for each one. So I'm gonna need 8 Ralts. So if you just saw that map, that's not gonna be an issue. There's plenty of Ralts out today. So the reason I'm going after Ralts, because I want Gardevoir, is because this is pretty much the only good Gen 3 Pokemon right now, in my opinion. We kind of got shafted with the first 50 they brought in. Slacking was a total disappointment. I spent all last weekend getting my slacking, getting it up there, getting it all gym ready, and I plop it in there, and it just doesn't bring what you expect. It's on par with Snorlax, so you're going to be better off dropping a Blissey or a Chansey in the gym. Now, Gardevoir is a fairy psychic type, maximum CP 2964. It has the 26th highest attack stat in the game right now, 35th highest defense stat, and a average HP. Its primary moveset that I'm going to be wanting is Confusion Dazzling Gleam, a psychic fairy moveset, which is a terrific attack and defense. Here's the thing. Typically, if you're going to be countering dragons, which we have a lot of dragons coming up, we've got Salamence, we've got Latios, Latias, those are 2 legendary types. There's also that ground dragon one coming up in Gen 3. We've got a lot of dragons coming up. Gardevoir double resists dragon and fighting type. So in a gym, it's going to double resist Machamp, and it has that psychic type quick move and the fairy fast move, or fairy charge move. So it's going to do big damage to Machamp, and it's going to do a lot of damage to dragons, because dragons are weak to fairy type moves. So that Dazzling Gleam is going to be very nice. And at the end of this video, I'm going to demonstrate how it fares against Dragonite. The other thing that's really cool about Gardevoir is that it has a resistance to psychic type attacks, and unfortunately it is weak to ghost. So if you find yourself up against a Focus Blast Mewtwo or a Psychic Mewtwo, this is actually a great counter because it resists Psychic. As long as it doesn't have that Ghost Shadow Ball move, it's not a bad counter for Mewtwo Raid. So that's something to keep in mind. Might be interesting to see how it does. You can teach it Confusion Shadow Ball, which is actually the ideal moveset for a Mewtwo if you were to be countering Mewtwo with Mewtwo. As you can see, I'm up to 6 Ralts here. I'm getting my candies going there. Gonna be getting the Gardevoir very soon. Very exciting. This is my first one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be talking about what I have. You'll notice on the video here, you're not seeing CPs. That's not what this channel is about. I'm not going to be talking about IVs. It's really not what I'm trying to do right now. Another moveset that you can get on Gardevoir is Charge Beam as a fast move and Psychic as a charge move. Now, I'm sorry, but Psychic, I just double Psychic move. I mean, it's okay. It's not going to be your best choice for a double psychic type attacker, but I mean, because this guy, he's really shining as a fairy, and I got the candy. I'm evolving him up. It's going to be Gardevoir. Awesome. There it is. Here's the moveset. This is exactly what I wanted. Confusion, Dazzling Gleam. Awesome. I usually have really bad luck with movesets, and I have to use a lot of TMs on the stuff that I want, so I'm psyched. So I went out and found a dragon in a gym to show you how the Gardevoir does against Dragonite. It's similar CP, a little bit lower. Bottom right screen, you're going to see the charge move up there really fast. Hit him with the fairy move. Look at that damage. 2 charge moves and he's done. So go out, get your Gardevoir. Forget about slacking. You got to get Gardevoir. This is what you need to be doing right now. Thanks for watching the video.